What's going on, everybody? All right, so by now you probably heard that the Hollywood Reporter had an interview with Zack Snyder. All right, I want to talk about some details and I want to get into some quick specifics about what I see and what I think is happening and what's going to be the outcome of this. Make sure to hit that subscribe. We're growing. I really appreciate each and every one of you. Let's get into this. All right, so look, first things first, that picture, all right? Zack Snyder with an axe. All right. Remember, Zack Snyder always does things and he speaks in codes. All right. Very simple. All right. That picture, he's dressed professional. Right. Why is he with an axe? It's not just for a photo shoot. The point of that picture, what I think is that he's ready to chop things up. That's what an axe does. It chops things. All right. So he's ready to chop it up in every way. All right. We know that Rebel Moon is right around the corner and we will support it and we're ready for it. All right. Check this out. Zack Snyder's a hot topic right now. It's a big name that everybody's talking, whether it's good or bad. All right. So the marketing on its own, it's everywhere. All right. So I see that as, whoa, Zack posing with an axe. He's just ready to chop things up, baby. That's it. That's it. You get what I'm saying? Get ready because more is coming and I want y'all to get motivated because we are not stopping. And to all you haters and doubters that are saying that Zack Snyder has moved on, he's even confirming it. Let me stop you right there. You clowns always say the same thing. All right? We'll get to that right now. All right. So Zack Snyder called James Gunn, right? And he said, I called him and said I wish all the best for him. Okay? Nothing wrong with that. Like when you leave a job and you give your 2 weeks, you just want to end things, but keep the door open for the future, right? Him saying that, right? That he called James Gunn to wish all the best for him. He's just telling him, like when anybody says that to you, when you're leaving, hey, I wish you the best, just to be neutral and to be positive, and at the same time to keep the door open, right? And you'll see why. Now, we know James Gunn isn't going to call Zack Snyder and say, hey, come back, we want you to do a movie, because James Gunn, his ego is just so high that he's not going to do it. Real talk. He's just not going to, right? And when you read in this whole interview, you know, it's interesting, but at the same time, I see things that are coming, all right? At the end, all right, Zack Snyder, you know, they asked him about returning to DC. And for the moment, he's like, not now. You get what I'm saying? Because, of course, he's focused with Rebel Moon and everything that's coming from it. But if James Gunn was to call Zack Snyder, right? Zack is willing to do The Dark Knight Returns straight up how it has to be. And he wants to do it rated R. If James Gunn is in charge, why wouldn't he make the call to Zack and tell him, hey, come do it, you know, and we can both move forward with it. But we know it's not going to happen because James Gunn, his ego won't allow him to. And he's not going to do it, honestly, while he's there. All right? Now, nowhere in this interview does Zack himself say, he's not saying, I'm done with DC. And if he does, I want you to quote it and tell me. Because to the day of today, Zack himself has not said that he's moved on. And he has not said to stop. Like I said, until Zack Snyder himself says, hey, the Snyderverse is done, stop fighting for it, then we will stop. Until then, it's only growing. Because you have to face it. The Snyderverse continues. It's not right now at DC, but it's over at Netflix with Rebel Moon. Because whatever movie that Zack Snyder makes is still part of the Snyderverse. It's not about DC. It's just the name, Snyderverse, all right? The same way that you have the Nolanverse, whatever movie that he makes, you can use that same thing of the Nolanverse, you know? With James Gunn over at Marvel with the Guardians of the Galaxy, that's the Gunverse. Here at DC is the same thing, the Gunverse, because he's the one that's making those films. All right. The point that I'm trying to prove and let you know is Zack is not done. Zack is a man with a plan, and he has a card ready. All right. The same like you play in poker, he has it ready to go. All right. And I'm going to tell you one thing too. I have a feeling that Zack Snyder knows that there's things going on behind the scenes, and he probably knows that they're about to buy out WB. And if Netflix or big if Universal is about to buy them, or probably they've already bought it and they're just waiting for paperwork and all that stuff, then you better believe it. Because remember, Zack is friends with Christopher Nolan. Christopher Nolan is over at Universal. And you think Universal, if they don't buy WB, that they're not going to restore the Snyderverse? That's a gold and diamond mine that they are going to capitalize. And at the rate that we're going right now, they're probably waiting and seeing, hey, look, let's give James Gunn his chance. We know it's going to fail because we know it's dead on arrival. And when they see how everything goes bad and Superman Legacy doesn't reach the numbers that they want, I guarantee you they're going to be begging Zack Snyder to come back. But it's not going to be over how WB is going to want. Because right now, the card is on both sides, either Netflix or Universal. And if Christopher Nolan is still at Universal and he tells Universal, hey, look, we need to bring Zack back and we need to restore the Snyderverse because there's money, you better believe it. Universal is going to capitalize big on it. And I see that James Gunn eventually is going to get fired. I don't even think he's going to get picked up and get hired over at Universal. If I was at Universal, I wouldn't hire his ass. If I was on Netflix, I wouldn't hire his ass either. I would say, yo, bring me Zack Snyder. We're restoring the Snyderverse. We're going to get it and go with it. And that's it. I'm telling you, don't give up. Faith, hope, and a lot of patience. We're at war. Something big is going to come. Like I said. And notice, big notice how Netflix, nor Universal, nor Christopher Nolan are not saying anything about the rumors that either or is going to buy WB. Notice, they're quiet. Because if it wasn't true, you would have already heard somebody say, hey, look, it's not true. Oh, no, Notice, they're being quiet about it. Both sides, Netflix and Universal. And also, Christopher Nolan. Nobody's saying anything. But I just have faith and hope that the Snyderverse is going to be restored. Give it time. You'll see. You'll remember. And all you haters, accept the facts. Zack is not done. He didn't say he's done. And if he said he's done, quote it. Let me know. Quote the same words that Zack said that he's done with DC and he's moved on. Oh, that's right. There isn't. Make sure to hit that subscribe, drop your comments, all that good stuff. And until next time.